full of twists and turns and the return of an iconic TV villain. But that's enough about Wallace & Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul. By the way, watch that if you haven't seen it yet. It is hilarious.
How hilarious is it, Rain?
It's really, really, really funny. The best thing that was on TV this Christmas.
So anyway, here's Doctor Who.
Yeah, here's Doctor Who, which wasn't.
Merry fucking Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. But
Merry Christmas.
Joy to the world. I think it's fair to say that, Wallace & Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul was not divisive, and this was. That's all I mean.
What? Doctor Who devices in the year of our Lord 2024? You don't say.
It's like saying Doctor Who is political or something.
Remember 2007 when the show wasn't divisive?
Anyway.
Yeah, so we're talking about Joy to the World, and I'm joined by my three co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, last Christmas he gave me a fart. It's Freezing Inferno.
What? No, I didn't.
No, but it's the song from Wham. Oh, forget it.
Wham! Hey,
you have to explain the joke. It's not funny.
I know.
I mean, you could have made it funnier. Last Christmas he gave me a 2-pair. I mean,
let's go with that. Let's go with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you want to do it again?
Last Christmas he gave me a 2-pair. It's Freezing Inferno.
Beautiful.
We're keeping the first one in, by the way, just so you know.
This is the professionalism you expect from us for the holiday season.
Absolutely. Absolutely none of it. To my virtual right, but not politically, she is the resident Stardew Valley slut. It's called Give Yourself better known as Cat.
Damn straight.
Affectionate.
So, Kat, how was your holiday? Did you get anything nice?
I got a very gay-themed Doctor Who bag.
Hey, hell yeah.
I got a phone.
Oh, and I mean, I guess I also got a really fun mug that calls me a Stardew Valley slut or something like that, but we don't want to talk about that.
I got a whole bunch of treats from somebody in this call, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Kat got me a Persona 3 portable, and Kuchiri got me a Star Wars game. And
I got you Star Wars Dark Souls.
Star Wars Dark Souls.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong either.
That's what the game is. It's Dark Souls, but Star Wars.
It is. It literally is.
Well, I'll be dead.
And I got Mass Effect, so yay.
Great.
You know, I should probably play Dark Souls again sometime.
Yes, you should do that.
But before I forget the intro, which is entirely possible, and finally, still scratching his head over why the Brits celebrate an old land sign, it's Kuchiri.
Wait, what?
Oh my god, did you not watch the episode?
What
old
sign?
Land sign, old land sign.
Oh.
It's a play on words. If you have to find the joke, it's not funny. God damn it, Kat.
God damn it, Kat. Kuchiri's the one who
What did I do?
You pointed out because it's not funny.
So here's the thing, Kat. It's a secret coded message.
Is that just going to be a thing now?
If you listen to the whole thing backwards, you'll have wasted some time.
Is that just going to be a thing now, from now on?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay. So before we get to the actual episode, though, and there's a lot to talk about with that, little bit of housekeeping. Firstly, on December the 23rd, BBC4 showed the War Games in colour.
Oh, my.
With a U, Kat. With a U.
Because
I'm
you're
triggered now.
English.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, some interesting stuff. They gave Troughton a more modern regeneration. The whole golden.
It looked great.
Season 6B fans in ruins.
Not quite, because they still couldn't resist doing the unit dating joke.
Yeah, they also apparently bought the rights to a fan film and decided to use parts of a fan film.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
At least they got the rights.
And well, I don't know if they bought the rights. I'm assuming because they showed it that they bought the rights.
Yeah, okay. They better have gone.
I mean, bought the rights of the
I
show.
mean, it's something you just have to assume. But then we also saw the animation from the podcast we did last time, and it's so surprising. The animation from that episode. There's more frames of animation than the game I just got them playing for review. That's going to come out in a couple weeks.
Oh, you're still on that.
Oh no, it's over. It's
No,
time
you
to
don't. You don't
review.
understand. He showed it to me at one point. He's right.
No.
I still don't understand why
when you left the call after we got done talking about how Bill destroyed the world, I showed both Sean and Kat the game.
He's right.
So I will say this about the war games in color. Big step up for me from the Daleks in color. They cut down 250 minutes into 90, and it actually worked.
Oh, thank God.
Because writers got to eat.
But there was some, shall we say, interesting editing choices. Firstly, every time the war chief came on the screen, they played the Master's theme.
Oh, God.
I don't really remember that. Was he the master?
No.
He wasn't.
No, but it's a popular fan theory that he is.
Fandom likes to think he is because everything must be interconnected.
He's clearly a prototype for the Master, but he's not the Master himself.
Was he still played by Roger Delgado?
No, the war chief was, I don't even know who it was.
Edward Brayshaw.
Robert Delgado was actually just a friend of Pertwee.
Yeah, that's why Pertwee quit the show when Delgado died.
Yep. And the only reason why Delgado even did a TV show as a man in his stature at the time is because his friend Pertwee was doing it. So they just got to hang out together.
Oh, that's nice. They were besties, but they were bitter enemies on the show.
Yeah, it really adds to the dynamic, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So that was one thing they did, and they also had the they also hinted that the war chief regenerated after he got shot dead. They just played the regeneration sound effect, and then of course they put the modern doctors as the faces the Dr. Kuchiri's from,
which doesn't fuck around with the lore or anything. It's not like we had a whole episode where the 12th Doctor was trying to figure out why he chose the face he did, when the whole time apparently the face was an option from the very
and I'm happy
beginning.
to say it didn't upset the fandom at all. Moving on.
One bit.
The other bit of housekeeping is a personal bit of housekeeping.
Oh.
So I'd like to congratulate Patrick Ross, who won the Big Finish Paul Spragg Memorial Prize this year, because I actually submitted a story for it.
Well, congratulations to Patrick.
Yeah, and I did win, but honestly,
I don't
so what you're saying is, go ahead, Kat.
Boo, you stink.
No.
So what you're saying is Big Finish chose poorly. Got it.
No, he did. They didn't, right? Because what this writer did was something very clever.
Okay, well,
the brief was a story set in the Time War.
Oh.
Huh.
And in the possible way, this writer cheated because his story is about a play about the Time War after the Time War with the 12th Doctor and Bill.
Oh, wow.
So he did the Loki thing where he started having a play about the thing that he was in.
Yes, and I can't wait to download and listen to that. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
That sounds like a fun concept.
So yeah, in the best possible way, he cheated, and I'm not bitter about it.
Wait. I have an idea for the next memorial winner thingy. What about if we had a time hotel with doors that go throughout history?
What the hell idea is that? That never worked.
You laugh, but Big Finish was just rubbing their hands together with glee when this came out because a whole year material.
No. The thing is, they could do a whole TV series off of this now, starting in year. So I don't know.
No, don't give me ideas for the love of God.
Oh, look! It's better than a fucking 6-episode limited series about the Sea Boys again.
War between the land and sea. What the hell were they thinking?
They were thinking.
Join us next year when we do a podcast for that.
I'm sorry. What was that? No, we're not doing that, Kuchiri.
What? It's Kuchiri's pick.
It's not. What's like? That's your cat's pick and not yours.
It's also funny because the last like 2 picks, you've been like, I don't have anything. You pick.
Oh my god, no one's going to pick next time. That's going to suck. Oh my god.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
If it helps, I
Two
have
options.
a
He's
good
going to
pick
pick the
in
worst
mind.
one.
Anyway, Rain.
I didn't spoil myself, but I did look and check, and apparently this one is lauded as pretty good.
Okay.
Rain. I just wanted to ask: Are you able to reveal on the air what your pitch for the Paul Spragg thing?
Yes, I am, because I wasn't successful, so it's been destroyed. So mine was
Destroyed?
well, they destroy the copy so it doesn't get copied.
All right.
I've still got the hard copy on my computer. It hasn't been destroyed permanently.
Fine. Yeah.
I might
So
finish
this
it
is
one day.
Copyright Rainiac. Nobody is allowed to use this. If we find that you have used this for anything,
It was
we
an
will come
8th
after
Doctor
you and we
story,
will sue you.
Frez. It was an 8th Doctor story
Oh, okay.
with an original character
All right.
who was a sort of battle
Original
medic.
with character, do not steal.
Right.
She was a sort of battle medic.
Ooh.
His story is better.
Original character by the name of Brett. Oh wait, what?
Hey, whoa. Whoa! Firstly, I said she, so how very dare you? And secondly,
I mean, your
Brittany?
name can be pretty androgynous. Let's just be honest.
oh!
No, see.
Oh, no, Cat, wait a minute. Whoa.
Her name was Bretta.
That?
Cat, I get right reply on this. Hang on a second.
What now? What?
My name is not androgynous.
That wasn't me who said that.
No. I get right reply, so I asked to be able to talk. I'm giving the right reply to Kuchiri, to this asshole, because
I don't know.
So this is my original character. Her name's Britta Filter.
oh my god.
Sorry, I had to. It came to mind.
I accept that Brit is an androgynous name,
Brittany.
but not so much my name, which I'm not going to say because I don't want to get doxxed.
Okay. First name's not going to get anyone doxxed. Let's just be honest.
I might have been.
Right. When he says that in the edit, you gotta switch back to the meat so you can see his real name.
Oh no! Everyone knows how to find me. I'm not that.
Yes, you make jokes about the completionist, and you turn up.
I give this game the worst ranking I possibly could. The ranking that I find the most disdain behind. I rate this game a rating of donate it.
Oh god.
I mean, to be fair, I think at least at one point we've all said our real names on here, so I don't think it matters. At least not our last names, but our first names.
Tell that to the fucking Fae.
I love that's coming.
No, it's okay. What you do is you say I can't give you my name, but you may address me as, and then you give a nickname.
So Shitty Catwoman is kind of great at this.
Yes, fantastic.
Yeah. We should, let's go wildly off topic in this discussion and talk about, I don't know, something like the new Doctor Who Christmas episode.
Honestly, I think you could say Shooty Gatwa continues to be great in this.
Ham and cheese toasted in a pumpkin latte.
Oh my gosh,
I
yes.
I love
you
him.
could tell this is a Moffat story because Moffat is like one of the few writers that will have the Doctor be in like 6 time periods in the first 3 minutes of an episode.
It's a great cold open, it really is.
A la, series 5 finale, we had the different. We just got done talking about Good May Goes to War and all the different cuts, all the time zones and periods and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's a Moffat thing.
To be fair, he does it well.
To be fair, we've learned his ways.
it's true.
And it's the first time that we've got him without a regular companion.
Which, that might play to why this episode is I'm just gonna say up front. I thought this episode was okay. I liked it perfectly, adequately. It is not one of the worst episodes ever, but neither is it up there with one of Moffat's very best Christmas specials. So I think that element that you just mentioned is one of the reasons why. Because I was thinking on this because I have a Christmas tradition of watching a Capaldi special on the holiday. So I rewatched Last Christmas. Fucking excellent. And what I realized about Moffat's Christmas specials back then is that half of them were advancing the emotional arcs of the characters. So Last Christmas isn't just a Christmas romp featuring copyright cat motherfucking Santa, but it is also dealing with the emotional fallout of Series 8 and getting these two damaged people back together and stopping them from lying to each other for half a second to admit that they need each other.
Thank fuck for that, too.
And then you have something like Husbands of River Song, which is Doctor and River again, and Doctor dealing with Clara's death. And something like Twice Upon a Time, which is obviously, the end of the 12th Doctor. There's another Time of the Doctors, about dealing with the end of the 11th. So there's lots of big emotional arcs in Moffat's episodes like this. And there are emotional moments in this episode, but he doesn't pull a Last Christmas with Gatwa and Ruby Sunday. He doesn't go back to that well. We do see her as a cameo, but this episode is not about getting them back together, making them deal with their shit. That's, I assume, something for season 2 further down the road when we get to it in 2025. But for now, this is, he's just telling a Christmas story. He's just telling a fun Doctor Who Christmas story with some great emotional beats. And you kind of got to take it in its time and place and realize, well, at least when I watched it, this was after I'd had a massive fucking turkey dinner. I'm halfway on the way to a turkey coma. I've also had a few adult beverages. So I'm just laying there, tired after a long day of socializing with the family, just laying down on the couch with the laptop. And, oh, hey, there's the new Doctor Who. Let's watch.
Yeah, I think the fact that I had just cooked a 3.5-course meal prior to this,
oh, yeah.
Probably helped. But I was feeling very tired. And so I probably enjoyed it more. Just sit down, chill out, and watch Doctor Who.
Vibes.
Am I the only one who felt like Ruby Sunday was not needed in this episode?
No, actually.
I mean, it's just a cameo.
We could have teased in the Series 2 trailer like we already did.
It feels so far out of place.
I was kind of hoping that the call at the end would be from the Doctor, just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, he was there for a whole year. It would have been nice just to have the little cut to them just getting a coffee or something.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that they have a bigger and better story plan for their eventual reunion in Series 2. So, or whatever the hell they're calling it.
Yeah, honestly, this is the perfect time for me to talk about this. Ncuti Gatwa is fucking amazing in this, but the whole point of having Tennant come back and then Ncuti Gatwa come from him is that that whole point was that they had quote unquote therapy. Ncuti Gatwa was supposed to be, we're done with the Time War. We're done with the Doctor feeling sorry for himself. He's going to be better. He's going to be happier. He's finally over all of that. This episode, this special, it kind of reversed all of that for me. He's, hammering on the door. He's berating himself, saying you're all alone. You don't have any cheers. You expect to have nobody in your life. And he's all of that is I don't want to talk to Ruby because she needs to move on with her life. And it's didn't you just have this whole thing where you were going to be a better person and actually, talk to people?
Well, it's not even just that. I mean, there's a perfect mirror between the Doctor and Joy in this episode, because Joy is choosing, to be by herself in this dingy hotel room, not really a good, view out the window, and later on, when the Doctor's being cruel, the whole, oh, you guys are going to see the side of this Doctor you've never seen before. He's going to be cruel and stuff. And then it's all because he's doing a ploy. There's just a random line, I chose to be in that hotel room for a week. You chose to be in there for a year.
Yeah.
That's at the end. Yeah, that's at the end.
So I just want to circle back to what Kat was saying. I'm of two minds about this as well. One, you are right, but I do hope that they can bring back a little more of that joy in the next season. And the two, you know, there's the more cynical explanation of people just really like writing Doctor Who being sad. It won't stick, you know.
I guess it just kind of feels like that's all that Moffat knows now, and so he just sort of regressed the character because that's just what he knows and what he does.
Moffat is very honed, so that's a strength and a weakness. He's got his little signifiers and bullshit, and he's got them honed down to a science, for better or worse.
Yeah.
I mean, this is also, you know, Moffat was looking, oh, this is the first Christmas special of a Doctor after their first season. Oh, it must be a you must learn to love people again episode. Oh, wait, the previous companion didn't die a horrible death? Oh. Anyway.
So, yeah, I get what you're saying, and I think you're all right. I think you will make very valid points. On the subject of Joy herself, then.
Yeah.
So Nicola Coughlan, very talented actress. Delighted she was got to be in Doctor Who. I mean, she was kind of locked down to Derry Girls for like 5 years, so none of them could really appear in Doctor Who until after that. I kind of hope that most of the cast show up at some point because they're all very, very talented. I don't feel like the character had that much meat on her bones. I don't mean that in a fat kind of way.
No, it's fine. We understand.
Depth.
Yeah, depth. Yeah,
you mean
quite a hollow character, actually.
I am so stunned. Moffat fooled us all. Told us for months that she was going to be the companion. Turns out that was a lie.
He never once said she was the companion.
No. He's doing a bit because he's talking about how Anita is the Doctor's friend.
Oh no, he's absolutely right. He's not doing a bit. He's speaking the truth.
I mean,
it should be the actress
secret.
Yeah, true. Because that's it. We'll get to those scenes momentarily because they are, I think, the best part of the entire damn story. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to be harsh to Nicola Coughlan because she is a fantastic actress. I just feel like she wasn't given too much to work with here.
On the other hand, what she is given to work with, she has some of the strongest material in the episode. You know.
Yeah, the spiky conversation about a certain horrible disease and certain people's reactions to said horrible disease, and of course her ending. Well, her character's ending. Other than that.
She was gone for half the episode.
Exactly. She disappeared for 15 minutes, which does not help.
Yeah. Which, again, that's a strength and weakness of what I consider the best part of the episode. That 10-minute stretch without her is incredible, but it doesn't serve Joy many favors because she's not in it.
Also, her son is Almondo, and that was never mentioned.
What does that say when you say, oh, yeah, no, the best parts are when the companion's not in it?
Again, she's not the companion.
That's harsh.
She's not the companion. She's a guest.
You know what I kind of wish they had done? I wish they had gotten them into the time hotel, and then they had gone back into the past just a little bit more, so that while the Doctor is with Anita, they could have had some scenes also with past Joy.
Oh.
So that the Doctor could have met past Joy and gotten to know her a little bit as well with Anita. And then maybe some timey-wimey bullshit happens and Joy doesn't really remember the Doctor for some reason.
It might have made that ending feel a bit more earned.
Yeah, so then that way we could get to know Joy and Anita at the same time, and the Doctor could learn and grow from both of them. He could see the pain that Joy has behind the mask, while also, getting to know Anita and seeing the pain of loneliness, while also, combating that with having a good time and growing from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two sides of the same coin, essentially.
Also, her surname is never mentioned on camera.
Almond Joy.
Yeah, I know.
God!
It's another Strawberry Fields in Bond.
Muppet, you hack!
I mean, if you want something really funny, apparently Anita's last name is Ben, which is a reference to Mr. Ben from Mr. Ben's Any Era Clothes.
Yes, they have a Mr. Ben reference in the Time Hotel.
Right.
And it's also a hint she's going to work in the hotel. Cat, I just realised.
What?
It's also foreshadowing she's going to work in the hotel.
Oh.
That's her store.
Can we talk about this hotel?
Can we please? What an amazing concept this hotel is.
I
like this concept.
I also, speaking of mirrors, did you guys catch what year this hotel's in?
Oh.
Yes.
4202.
Yes.
Give it up for
Thank
day
you.
4202.
Oh, that's good. That's good. But he's pointed out more mirror imagery than I have. What's going on here?
If I don't, you will, and we all know how insufferable. I mean,
Maybe
how would you get?
maybe Kuchiri is a mirror of you today.
Did Kuchiri get a piece of mirror implanted in his eye, and now he's suddenly changed?
No.
Oh, God. Don't do that. You'll have your eye out.
No. Anyway, so I was watching this with my roommate because I've been watching this last year of Who with my roommate. We get to meet Trey, one of the attendants here at this.
Trev.
One of the attendants here at this hotel. And I looked at my roommate, like, I like this guy. Knowing Moffat, he's going to be dead by the end of the episode.
Oh.
2
Doesn't
minutes
even
later.
take that long.
2 minutes
Better.
later.
Trevor deserves better.
Well. Given that it's Moffat, he's dead. But then,
He's still dead.
no,
Does he just live inside the screwdriver now?
No, he lives
He's just
inside
funny.
Villengard.
No. Wouldn't
He
it be
lives
funny
inside
now,
the
like
star.
throughout season 2, like when the doctor's by himself and he needs to speak to someone and none of the companions around, he just pulls out the screwdriver, Trev pops up. Hey, can I run something by you real fast?
Oh, my God. Don't give him ideas. They can actually do that when you're saying, oh, my God, no. No.
So this hotel, different floors, bunch of different doors. They're connected to different points in time. We got like the bombing in 1940. We got some random tent. So okay, I want to ask a question. So these are all doors you like are always locked. You can never open them. When these explorers built these tents, they accidentally just threw a random door in and just had no idea what the door was there.
My dad made me laugh about this. So Stephen Moffat is talking about this. He's saying, what about that? Why is it when you go to a hotel room, most times there's a locked door that you can't open? And Dad just tells me, it says, because it connects to the adjoining room, you idiot.
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
It does make sense, though. It attaches to the adjoining room. The Time Hotel's room.
Yeah.
Yes. But it just made me laugh how Kennedy was about that.
Also, let's not talk about the innate risk of paradoxes of letting vacationers go back in time. You know what? I think I fancy a trip back to Dallas 1963.
Well, they do say,
no, look out, Mr. President.
They do say you can't go through until everyone who's in the room in the current time has left.
Well, the thing is, you can still, like what Fresno was saying, there's a chance that time travels can mess with time, but I'm sure there's safeguards.
Yay.
I do want to point out, this year it was confirmed during Space Babies that Star Trek is canon in the Doctor Who universe. One of the doors.
Oh my gosh, that totally means that A Straight Story is also the greatest Doctor Who movie that's ever existed. Explain that.
I was more pointing out the Hobbit door. I wasn't trying to rag on Frez anymore, but
God damn it,
No. It's good. It's a pastime at this point.
I swear to God, I only have like a couple of comic books left, and then he's got to explain it.
And then you both got to try to figure out how this connects.
Then the fun fact is, there's actually like no explanation, and you've wasted all that time for nothing.
Well,
it was a meme all along. It was a meme.
It was Agatha all along.
Anyway, so yeah.
Still have to watch that series.
Me too.
Hobbits are real in the Doctor Who universe now.
The Hobbits are real in the Doctor Who universe.
Everything is real in the Doctor Who universe except Naughty.
They're taking the Doctor to Isengard.
They're taking the door to Isengard.
Kamen Rider Dino Doctor Who crossover win.
I wouldn't say that. It might actually happen. But also, I'd like to say, this is the other thing about the episode that kind of took me out of it. So I know that we have this thing about we don't want them to explain too much because sometimes they explain way too much. I really wish they explained more about this time hotel and how it worked. Because like how you pointed out with the rooms, Rain, where like it would have been so much more sense if instead of opening the door after the time hotel's connection got severed to a brick wall, if it had opened to the adjoining room, that would make so much more sense than just a straight up brick wall. There's also the fact that Anita walks in with the towels and there's just a straight up lizard man there and she doesn't react.
She works in a hotel. She's seen some shit.
Yes,
I'm not gonna lie. I worked at a hotel. You just don't question things.
There's a lizard man standing there, and there's a random dude there, and it's like she didn't see them walk in or anything. It's like it's just the woman who Joy, who was standing there, is just like, I don't know what's going on. She looks visibly terrified. Wouldn't you be like, oh, this looks really weird? And like the door was still open too, wasn't it? And she could see into the other area. So like, you're not going to react to this? Really?
Did I ever tell you guys the story of when a guest barged into the bathroom after I finished making breakfast at the hotel I worked at and was just freaking out?
No. I
suspect you're going to, though.
Yeah, no, I want to say I was in the Skype group with you guys at the time. So I worked at a hotel. This is where I got introduced to Doctor Who. I watched it during my overnight shifts. I was still chatting with the Let's Play forum people, even though I didn't really have a way to upload videos at the time. Pretty sure I was in a call with like Kite, Rain, Ultra J-Man, Frez, a few others. We had this party come through. It was a big wedding party. I go wash my hands in the bathroom. All of a sudden, the bathroom door barges open. It's the one bathroom only for staff. Yeah. The guy's like, buddy, under stairs, not whatever. Right? He's So I go into one of the stairways, and behind the blanket pushing cart, there's just a half-naked woman, completely pale.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, this looked like a scene from CSI. I start getting closer and closer to see what's going on. I'm looking. I realize she's just passed out asleep.
Oh, thank God.
So the thing is that I'm not bothered by any of this. For some reason, it's just, hey, I gotta make sure she's actually dead or whatever, right? Because I wasn't thinking this was a dead person. I was thinking, oh God, what did the guests do this time? And I wake her up. I tell her she needs to get to her room, whatever, right? I mean, she's wearing a tank top, no bra, and like boy shorts.
Okay.
So she wakes up. I watch her go up the stairs. I go back to checking people out, manning the front because I'm the only one there. The guy shows up again. And he's like, she's across the top floor now. I'm like, okay.
Well, just like splayed out across the top floor?
No. Like across the floor. Like the floor is like only wide enough for two people to walk through. And she's across it. Feet against one wall, head against the other.
That's impressive flexibility, at least.
And so I go see what room she's asleep next to. I don't even ask if it's her room. I go make a spare copy of the key. I go to where she is. I double check with her at this point. Is this your room? She, yeah. I open the door without knocking.
Oh no!
I open the door open. There is like 30 people on the floor in this room.
What the?
Room. And as the light comes across the room and hits in the face, they all, with a drunk, turn over. And here I am shoving this woman into the room and straight the door.
You found the Stoner Convention. Congratulations.
No, trust me, that wasn't stoner. That was either A, a different type of drug, or B, just
drunk out of their mind. The thing is, the whole time, I'm not thinking about as a regular person, I'm thinking about I gotta get this half naked woman out of this hole.
I love the fact that your solution was to put her in this room and just shove her inside. Not caring.
I worked at a hotel too. You see the most random shit.
Yeah,
it's like I once saw a horse there who was supposed to be taking, like the groom to his wedding. I get it, but still,
I get it too because you see random shit even as a guest, but just the idea that his solution.
The time hotel, she could see through the door.
Yeah.
She didn't react.
The horse came from the Grand National.
The thing is, like when you're in the middle of working and you're just over it, you're just focused on work. And here I am, like
she wasn't
I
doing
think
anything,
I was also working.
She was just sitting there waiting for people to come in.
It's a very funny story, but Fresno has been very patient. So Fresno, go ahead.
I was just going to say to Kat, while you were talking back to the episode about, this whole thing, you had another critique of this scene.
Well, no, my main critique is the fact that there's like really no explanation for this time hotel at all. It's like, obviously you have Anita who's just sort of like, oh, okay, cool. You can sort of see through here. It's fine, whatever. I don't remember what else I was going to say about it. I just wish we had more explanation for the time hotel and how it works. But also, apparently the tent one was Mount Everest in 1953.
Well, I meant that you were just saying about Joy and reacting to the doctor and the Silurian fella.
Well, yeah. All I was saying was Anita walks in. There's these two guys who weren't there before, and
I didn't
Joy
mean
is standing there looking terrified. Joy. No, I'm saying there's these two guys who are there and who's there now and they weren't there before, and Joy is standing there holding up a hairdryer like a gun, and she's looking terrified, and Anita's just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah. I was talking about a different part.
That's all I was saying.
I meant a different part you had to say about that particular scene that you were saying before.
Oh, that part. No, I was talking purely about the time hotel in this part.
I didn't know if you wanted to launch into that, is what I mean.
I mean, we could go into the part where Joy gets a little bit homophobic.
Maybe first we should let Rain. He's had his hand up. He's a patient.
Yeah. Let's go ahead, Rain.
Yeah. So I do love the setting of the time hotel. I think they could have done more with it.
Yeah.
But they've only got an hour to fill, so I can kind of understand it. And besides, Big Finish probably have an agreement that he couldn't put it on the screen more than 10 minutes, so they could fill in the gaps. But
yeah. I think that's my main critique is just have the doors go into like a separate room. And also like one of them seems to be in a house, like that first one that he walks into where it's the two people who seem to be in a house of some sort. Make that go into a different room as well. It's like, don't make it just a random locked door in a place.
I don't know why the 1940s setting was there, because everything else actually plays into the resolution of the episode, but 1940s does not.
No, the thing is, I think it's they're meant to be like a tourist, like experience this, experience that, experience this.
Yeah, but he gets the rope from the Everest guys. He uses the train to use the rope. That all makes sense within the resolution of the episode. 1940 has no part to play in it.
Yeah, other than the fact that at the end it's like we have hope now because we've seen the star, and it's like, cool. Why were you here?
Because actors got to eat, I guess.
Anyways, we come back to the scene of the Silurian and the doctor meeting with Joy, and then Anita leaves. So Joy gets a line that isn't really great in this episode. So obviously she's a little freaked out. She just tried to point a hairdryer at them, and the doctor's like, trying to get her to pretend it's a gun, and it doesn't really work. And she's obviously very, very confused because two random men just sort of strolled into her room from a door that did not exist and was locked. So, of course, what's the first thing that she says? She goes up to them and is like, is this a gay thing?
Yeah, not great.
Yeah, no. And of course, the Silurian, he's being controlled by the briefcase, which we'll get onto in a minute. But they say something like something about the star, and then the flesh will rise, which Really, really, Moffat, really?
I mean,
I get what you're getting at, but also
he likes trying to do random phrases with some monsters.
No, I get that. What I'm saying is, essentially what they're trying to imply, because afterwards Joy goes, "Oh God, really?" She's trying to imply erections.
Yeah, it's a bonus joke. Happy holidays, everybody!
Yay, great! You're just sort of making the homophobia a little bit more obvious.
The starseed will bloom and the flesh will rise.
Thank you. But also, what does that even mean in the context of what's going to... Well, either way, it's a Moffat thing. But also, like, don't put in the homophobia, please. That's just gross.
Moffat has, on more than one occasion, put his foot in his mouth, so to speak.
And this is one of those occasions.
Foot, insert mouth.
Yes, open foot, insert mouth. You mentioned the briefcase.
Yes.
I have to bring up this damn MacGuffin, because that's what it is. There is a TV series from the 70s called The Persuaders, with Roger Moore and Tony Curtis as the lead characters. And there was an episode written by one Terry Nation called Chain of Events, which is about Tony Curtis getting a briefcase handcuffed to his arm. But there's also an episode of The Avengers which has multiple briefcases being handcuffed to multiple arms. So I think he might have ripped this off a little bit.
Moffat, a fan of old British television? No.
But also, it is a MacGuffin. It's just there to get characters killed.
But also, Doctor Who totally knows what's in Marcellus Wallace's briefcase.
This is the first time you made this joke. It's still funny.
I will say, I do like the idea of, the Doctor opening the briefcase and then, let's just say it's Villengard again. They've been brought back. They're making this whole thing. I do like all of the protections they put on this briefcase, because as soon as he opens it, they say, the voice of the briefcase is like, you have 20 seconds to close before the current holder of the briefcase is disintegrated. And Joy is obviously like, close it, close it, close it. And the Doctor's like, no, I've got to study this. And he obviously imprints it on his mind because photographic memory and everything. And so he closes it eventually. Or Joy kind of closes it for him. And then a little thing pops up and it's like, please input the code so that you can properly close this thing, or else the current holder of the briefcase will be disintegrated in 15 seconds. It's like, I love that. That's funny.
That's a good beat, yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is where we have the whole bootstrap paradox, which thank goodness they did this so much better than the Capaldi one, because they don't have that stupid Beethoven thing in the beginning.
Yeah, they don't telegraph it.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. In isolation, that's a great scene. In context of the episode, that's
terrible.
Fucking what's his face? Kobe Whithouse thinking that we're so fucking stupid that we don't get the fact what a bootstrap paradox is when we're watching the goddamn time travel show.
Which if I remember correctly, they later explain it in the actual episode what a bootstrap paradox is.
Yes.
There's no reason for it to be there.
I think we are, Toby.
Apparently, very.
No, this rules. This rules.
Yes.
I mean, this rules, but what it leads to rules harder.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, you, just when it looks like Joy is done for, another Doctor bursts into the room and gives the code.
Oh my God, Matt Smith is in this episode?
Well, another version of 15.
Of Shooty.
Of Shooty, yeah. Please note, at no point do we ever find out how he got the code.
Bootstrap paradox.
It's explained he got the code because he gave himself the code. I would have actually loved if there's just one point while he's looking at all the sketches, he realizes, oh, that's the code. It doesn't explain it. Like, he's just sitting there playing, Battleship or something. And it's like, oh, that's how you get set. Okay, no, go ahead. B3. Yeah, no, you sunk my battle. That I would have preferred.
That would have been great, actually.
But go ahead.
But others want to talk, so go ahead.
Okay, I just want to bring up this, since we didn't really bring it up. Talk about the Silurian for a second. Because first, his death scene's really poignant, and the way Gatwa plays off the sorrow of this guy getting disintegrated. And boy, howdy, if I had a nickel for every time a 2024 Doctor Who episode had people getting Thanos snapped, 2 nickels. But also, and this is like a minor little nitpick, just less a nitpick and more gee, it would be nice if they did this. I kind of wish that it wasn't just, oh, they found me in a cave and then I was able to become the manager of the hotel. I kind of wish that it was more like it's the year 4000 and the Silurians are just out and about. They're integrated with humanity. They're sharing the planet, but that's just a very personal, specific to me thing of saying, give me the goddamn ending that all the Silurians and Sea Boy stories keep fucking rejecting in favor of 21st century status quo. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Press, if you want that ending, you gotta watch the War Between the Land and the Sea.
God damn it!
It's not going to end like that, and you know it.
If I had $250,000 every time a doctor cried in an episode in 2024, I'd be a millionaire by now.
I don't want to cut Kat off, but I'm going to come back to that. So, Kat?
No, it's fine. Because honestly, all I was going to say is, it would have been really hysterical if the code was not the one that he said, and instead he figured out the code because one day he and Anita were just listening to music, and he was like, 8675309.
I found it! I found the code! Now you can go back in time and save Joy!
I gave you that one. I want you to remember that.
Or perhaps you gave me that one, but the very next year I talked like this. Okay.
I have no.
Yeah, we can talk a bit about the.
Okay, but I just want to say, and this is me being a petty little bitch. I did see. So I'm not going to name names. But I did see a post regarding one of the tears that Doctor Who cries, specifically in the part we're about to talk about. And it's just like, oh, I can't believe this. Oh, the sentimental garbage. Oh, the Doctor's crying again. It's supposed to make me feel things, but I don't feel nothing. And it's just like, Doctor Who bad now, me no like.
If that person is, listening to this, which is impossible, hi, do you have a soul?
Hi, can you please touch grass and go, watch fine cinema, go meet people, do something when you quit the goddamn show and go.
Hi, can you go fuck yourself?
Yeah. I don't know the exact. I'm saying it off of memory here, but I'm just throwing.
I think you are broadly in the right ballpark because you did link to me that Blue Sky post.
I linked you. I think I linked you from that particular person as well.
I believe
your response was,
in fact, is on Blue Sky is worse.
No. This was on Bird site.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My response was
on Twitter.
I remember my response was does going out getting Christmas shopping count as touching grass? And you said yes.
Yeah, and also I think I linked another post by this person. You said, "Wow, another person for me to block."
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Why don't you go out, touch grass, and eat ass?
What tweet did I say? Oh, right. Oh, right. Oh, that's why I was doing. They were getting it was a Twitter spat because people were critiquing this episode for having recycled plot beats of sorts, and someone made a joke post saying, "Wow, I can't believe they recycled the plot beat of this police box vanishing," and they were just like, "Oh, fuck off! Oh, you're being obnoxious and annoying. Let me hate the episode. Let me be a vengeful piece of shit."
Kat, did you just say touch grass and eat ass?
Yes.
Good to know.
I'm throwing too much shit. I'm throwing too much shade around the Twitter user for. Next, I'm gonna write the Pardus Erditorum Praxeus essay. That is a deep cut. If you know, you know. Let's talk about the episode again.
Yeah. So the best part for me is the year that the Doctor spends in the hotel.
I love this.
Yes.
With no TARDIS, no gadgets, just living a life in order for 1 year with his friend from the hotel, Anita.
Which, again, it's the funny thing is my first thought was, oh, he can do it now, but the 11th Doctor couldn't do it when it was Chibnall writing. But then I remembered, oh, right, Trenzalore. Oh, right, Heaven Sent doesn't really count for this, I suppose.
Well, no, see, the 11th Doctor couldn't do it because he's a literal puppy and has the attention span of one.
And what's so clever about this? It starts with just pure comedy. Like he's serving the family at the table, and it's like, what's that? Jelly and ice cream. I'm on a diet. So that's what the sucker paper was talking about.
It was jelly and biscuits, actually.
So jelly and biscuits, yeah.
That was funny.
Then the plunger scene is hysterical. Is disarmed.
So good.
And again, him mopping without ever touching it, and Anita's just sort of looking at it, and he's like, "Is this all right?" And she's like, "Yeah." No reaction to it. Like, I get she works at a hotel, really a motel, but still. Really?
Again, half naked woman passed out under the stairs.
Yes,
no,
true.
I get that, but surely you'd still be like, "Is that mob moving on its own?"
But then, as is often the case with Stephen Moffat, he takes you from the comedy to the emotional beats.
The feels.
Chair night.
I really love the gag where he's like, "No, really, they move when you don't look at them. Isn't it weird?"
And Anita's just laughing like she's heard it all before.
He's so good.
And Anita says that she likes this night. She loves chair night the best.
I do love that they connected that all together. You know, he's yelling at his future self about how you don't have any chairs, and then he's thinking to himself, "Oh my god, I don't have any chairs." And then they start calling it chair night, and it's like, "Oh, okay, yeah. You got me. You got me."
Chair night is just the day of the week where they get a break, they get to play board games, they get to talk to each other.
It's just so sweet and wholesome.
And then it breaks your heart because it's time for the Doctor never to leave, and then Anita knew he was going to leave.
Can we point out all the Doctor Who memorabilia he collects over the years?
And makes.
So cute.
He makes the little TARDISes himself.
Are you sure?
No, he said he bought them. He said he bought them online.
There's websites out there.
Remember how he got the money, but yeah, all right.
Now
he got the money
by working at the hotel, presumably.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anita.
And you also got to remember, anytime he can also just take like a random credit card or something, Sonic it, and give himself
He would
$1 million.
not do that. He's too good for that.
Someone has watched Voice of the Damned.
David Tennant fucking sonicking an ATM and making money spit out everywhere.
Somebody didn't watch Voice of the Damned.
That was the old Doctor. That was the old Doctor who was a rebel and had not had therapy yet. This is new, good Doctor who would never do something like
therapy.
that.
Bullshit.
Remember 2008 when the Doctor hadn't had therapy yet?
Bullshit. So he has to go. He has to leave, and it's all very sad. And Anita asked him to remember her, and she of course says Anita at the Sandringham, and you just get the impression this is a very lonely person, which is kind of like the theme for the whole episode.
Yeah.
Joy is lonely, the Doctor is lonely, and Anita is lonely. Anita at least gets some closure on that. Joy doesn't. The Doctor doesn't yet.
Joy kind of does. Joy does in the end.
In a very extreme sort of a way.
Well, yes, it's very extreme. But technically she's not alone because she has all the other people who are taken by the villain guard briefcase.
She's also dead, but...
And then she also takes her mom. She's the reason her mom's dead.
No, actually, I think I'll get to that when we get to the star scene. But
yeah,
the Year of Anita is fantastic, and I forget the name of the actress, but she knocks it out of the park.
Nicola Coughlan?
No, it's a damn shame she didn't get to have her name in the main credits because she kind of deserved to.
Oh no, you mean Anita?
I mean Anita, yeah, not Nicola Coughlan, no.
Steph DeWally.
Steph DeWally, yeah, she did a fantastic job. She really did.
I thought you were talking about Joy since we were just talking about her, so my mistake.
No, and Anita. You're absolutely right. Anita Ben. So we move on from that whole thing because we've got to have this whole let's rescue Joy plot wrapped up, and the way we do it is kind of harsh and kind of shocking. And I think this might have caught a lot of people off guard that were still raw from this.
Hey, have you guys ever seen The Curse of Fenric?
Have you seen The God Complex?
But before we get into that, I just want to point something out that I just found out. Trev, apparently his last name is Simpkins.
Did?
Trev the Simp.
I say again that Trev deserved better.
He absolutely deserved better, but also you named him Simpkins. What the fuck, Moffat?
And the manager is Melmac. The manager has a name too.
I fucking want to steal that last name now. God,
Wait a minute, what the hell?
Simpkins.
I've just seen something. I've just seen something in the cast list for this episode.
Uh-huh.
Well, when we get to the scene where he saves Joy or tries to save Joy, we'll get to that. But that's just knocked me out.
Right.
But yeah, Trev Simpkins, Anita Ben, and Silurian manager Melmac. None of these people have their surnames mentioned at all.
Nope.
And I think the first guy to die for the briefcase was Mr. Single, which is a bit on the nose.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He shows up at the end, by the way, with all the other people that have been taken by the Starseed.
But yeah, let's get to 2020.
Yeah, so we find out why Joy is like this, and the doctor is trying to make her angry to break the conditioning of the case to save her life. So let's just preface it with that, because he's not trying to be harsh.
But
I mean, he
still
is,
doesn't
but it's for a good reason.
Yeah.
So we've seen this before in episodes like Curse of Fabric and God Comes, as I said, but it's different with Ncuti Gatwa because, he's been a very happy doctor up to this point. So when this sort of abrasiveness comes out is really a dramatic turn for Ncuti Gatwa.
This gave me tonal whiplash, I'm just saying.
Oh god, I just fucking remembered the best acting, Nicola. How do you say her last name?
Coughlin.
Nicola. The best acting she does. She's standing in the elevator and she has that happy conditioned smile. The briefcase will kill me and the Starseed will rise. I'm going to die. All humanity will die. Hooray! And then the doctor's insulting her, and the way her fucking chipper smile turns into this sour frown.
She's such a good actress.
Fuck.
She was in Barbie for a reason.
Yeah, I do wish.
Barbie?
I do agree. I wish she had a lot more time in this. Again, my wish that she, they had gone back like another year or something, and he could have spent time with her as well.
Oh, and Ncuti was in Barbie as well, of course.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh.
Yeah, he was a
Oh my god,
Ken.
this is just a Barbie reunion.
Basically.
Yeah.
And then it's Oppenheimer because the Starseed goes nuclear at the end.
Oh my fucking god!
It's Barbieheimer! We did it!
Moffat made Barbieheimer canon. It's a Christmas miracle.
Yes, her acting is phenomenal in this particular scene, and then Moffat chooses to make it so real.
Literally real.
Oh, there will be people that watch this that have gone through what this character went through.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why maybe it should have come with a warning, but also if you do that, you spoil it. But I do not blame anyone if they were caught completely off guard by this. So the reason why Joy is like what she is because her mother died on Christmas Day in a hospital, and Joy couldn't visit her because of COVID.
She had to say goodbye on an iPad.
But they even go further.
Oh, that line.
Because they reference wine parties. So wine fridges and dance parties.
This is just so fucking acidic and raw and real. And keep in fucking mind, while this was happening in the real world, remember what Doctor Who was doing in 2020 and 2021. We were up our ass in lore about the timeless child and the flux. That's what Doctor Who was focusing on while the world was on fucking fire. And now we've come back around and we are addressing that full force. No, this happened. It happened in the real world. It happened here. And we're taking it on. And we're saying it was bullshit and awful.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
And dealing with the pain that fucking caused.
And it kind of gives you hope as well that maybe in a couple of years' time there will be a writer that's brave enough, like Moffat was brave here, to reference some of the terrible things that the current government is doing.
Oh boy.
I won't go into that because I don't want to bring the tone down, but they are awful.
I mean, we're already bringing the tone down considering her mother died alone in a hospital.
We should never have elected them,
Christmas.
but then again, people just want to get the Tories out. But be careful what you wish for, and that's all I'm going to say.
I mean, during this whole time, there was how many Trump stand-ins during Doctor Who that they kept on? It was like, this person's Trump, but not really. We're not calling.
That's true. Yeah, Robertson was definitely supposed to be not Trump.
Funny thing is that Revolutions of the Daleks in 2021 was taking the piss out of Theresa May after she left.
What? You're bringing up a...
No, it's fine, Chris. It predicted Liz Truss.
Politics in my Doctor Who.
Exterminate the lettuce!
Because that character was in the episode for exactly half the amount of time Liz Truss was the Prime Minister.
I was looking through Blue Sky whenever I get done watching the episode. The fact that someone had the audacity to say that the Chibnall holiday specials were better than Joy to the World, I'm sitting here like, did you not watch them?
What?
Did you not see my spoiler thing?
No, but seriously, though, what? Anyway, contrarian being the second contrarian. This is such a raw scene, and then of course it all gets turned on its head when a dinosaur turns up. But
wow, it is a Moffat episode.
I mean, do you want to know what makes this funny? Do you know what was the big film on TV yesterday afternoon?
Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is when the big thing comes in. Essentially, Villengard, what they want to do is they want to take this star and grow it to just before it turns into an actual star. That's why it's called a star seed, so that they can take it and use it as a weapon, which is what Villengard does.
An infinite source of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the idea is that they attack it using like this psychic thing to a person. It sends a signal to Villengard just before it's about to detonate, essentially, so that they can come and pick it up. The problem is that the Doctor now has gotten it off of Joy. It was eaten by a dinosaur, which was 65 million years ago, which is exactly how much time it needs to incubate. So they have no idea where it is, so they can't find it before it inevitably detonates. And so that's
and then Trevor saves the day.
Trevor Simpkins to the rescue. And this is, again, an old Moffat standby. You die, but then, it's that transhumanism. Upload your brain to a computer. Is it still you? He loves going back to this shit. And
very silent in the library.
No Banana Grove, surprisingly.
You were hoping for Banana Grove, but no Banana Grove.
I thought we were going to get that. I thought this was going to be the final Villengard story. Maybe that happens if the Villengard shows up again.
It's not going to be the final Villengard story. Do you realize how much Moffat and RTD want to take the piss out of weapons?
Do we know if Moffat's even going to do another Doctor Who story? No.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
He's not scheduled for anything for season 2. Doesn't mean he won't.
Certainly isn't.
I know. See that. No.
That we know of, yeah.
I mean, we got 2 of them this year, so that's more than I was expecting. So.
Oh, by the way, this was his 50th story.
Oh,
exactly.
Really?
Congratulations to him.
Good.
Yes.
Wow.
So they can't find the dinosaur. They get a message from Trev, who locates this star seed, and they're like, Trev, aren't you like part of Villengard now? Why are you helping us? Because, sir, I gave you a promise many years ago, and I'm keeping it. I will never let you down.
Look at that. Transhumanism in action. That's the real Trev. Again, like Boom, the guy who got the dad who got fucking uploaded by those shitty ambulances.
I was going to say, close enough. Welcome back, the dad from Boom.
Yeah. So this is a thing Moffat does, Oh, the transhumanist being uploaded into an AI, but some part of your soul remains because
were the influences also made by Villengard? I don't remember.
Yeah, Boom is a Villengard story.
I think we can assume that Villengard just doesn't understand the human species or any other species, and therefore doesn't understand emotion, and therefore has no safeguards against emotion in general.
There's a great line when the AI of the Silurian is explaining the plan, and the Doctor's like, "But that'll kill everybody on Earth. Oh, the sacrifices of humanity will be greatly appreciated by the Villengard Corporation."
I mean, it's
like,
almost like the whole ambulance thing. Whenever
wow.
it's like people aren't people; they're a commodity to them.
Yep.
Trevor gets a great line as he explains. He says that the afterlife has been rather turbulent.
I can imagine.
So he hacks the briefcase from within it because he's part of the villain guard algorithm now, and that leads us to the climax. And again, controversy reigns here. So firstly, we get a pair to all those places the Doctor visited through the Time Hotel. He takes a rope from Sherpa Tenzing and Edmund Hillary.
I love this joke that they catch them and they're like, why are you taking that grappling hook and rope?
Because it's there.
It's so good.
He lampshades it beautifully.
I do like we get like the conclusion to like a lot of these like mini stories. Like they keep on cutting to the woman in the train.
Oh, here's the thing that knocked me out. That woman isn't named on camera, but she's named in the credits.
Uh-huh.
Her name is Sylvia Trench.
What?
Sylvia Trench is the Bond character.
So what?
Sylvia Trench is the first woman that James Bond says James Bond to in Doctor No.
Oh my god.
At the casino scene.
Is that supposed to be like her?
I don't know. It's just a fun little
I don't think it is.
reference. But yeah, she's on the Orange Express in 1962. At 62 was when Doctor No was made, so maybe.
Holy shit.
But
they don't
also imply that James Bond is a real person in the Doctor Who. Oh God.
I'm waiting for that to happen. I really am.
But we get a neat little scene because they keep cutting to like these papers she's reading, and we don't know what the papers are there for or anything like that at this point. And the Doctor sees them. Oh, honey, you could do so much better. He is such a horrible pinman. These are my layers. I hope you and him are going to be happy. It's a her.
Lesbians!
I am going to say this does not cancel out the homophobic joke from the beginning, unfortunately.
It doesn't now.
It really doesn't.
Even so,
it's funny. It's kind of heartwarming, but it doesn't cancel that out.
No.
But he takes the rope through the Orient Express, the grappling hook, and he grabs he uses it to open the door, doesn't he, to the Starseed?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Joy's right there.
Shrine, and
Joy's right there as he does this, and then Joy does something incredibly stupid.
No, I think she's still kind of. I don't want to say she's brainwashed, but I think the Starseed was talking to her the entire time that she was taken by the briefcase and everything. And I think the Starseed was promising her certain things. And she was listening to the Starseed and she was like, yes, I want this.
So it's about to blow. But Joy is surprisingly not afraid of this at all. And she's being like very sort of friendly towards it, and reassuring. And the next time we see her, she's taken the Starseed into herself somehow.
She was already.
She's glowing. The CGI is terrible on this scene.
It's not that bad.
No, you're saying it's not that bad because you're used to Kamen Rider CGI. It's not bad.
No, I'm saying it's not that bad because I'm used to old Doctor Who CGI.
At least it had more animation than the Power of the.
Oh my god!
It's just a glow from her chest. I've seen worse.
It's just like it's like the glow didn't look quite right, but okay, we've seen worse.
I wasn't focusing on the glow on her chest. I was focusing on her face because that's where I should be focusing. What are you looking at, Rainiac?
No. You don't see her chest. Come on. Wait a minute.
Her eyes are up here. Right?
No. Eyes front, soldier. I know, but I was looking at her face, but the glow is coming from underneath. Oh, for God's sake.
I'm messing with you. Don't worry.
You're not getting.
Yes, but there'll be people that think that you're being serious, and I'll get labeled as a creep.
I mean, you're from Tejas, but
There's no winning this, Rain. Take the element.
Yeah, there's no winning. Anyways, let's continue.
No, I don't play Fortnite. What are you talking about?
What? You
I
don't
mean,
play
it could be
Fortnite
worse.
with
You
Mariah?
could play League of
Anyway,
Legends.
Joy willingly sacrifices herself. She becomes a star.
I have some thoughts on this. First and foremost, and this is an interesting thought. At first, I was reminded of very recent times because when you think about it, the main crisis of the episode, Doctor Who doesn't stop it. The guest character sacrifices himself to save the day. Oh my God, we're back in the Chibnall years.
I mean, one could also say that we did a Clara, but not as good.
No, I don't think we did a Clara. But now, the reason that this didn't bother me as much as, seeing it happen in the Chibnall years with Whittaker is there's two reasons for it. The first is that this sacrifice is actually, moving and meaningful and powerful and gives agency and grace to the character.
Does it?
When it happened in the Chibnall era, it was just, oh, hey, that guest it was all very gun, sort of like Peter Davison Sayward era, Colin Baker era stuff on TV, where it's just like, and now I will sacrifice myself to blow up the enemy so that you, Doctor Who, can escape. Bang, boom, boom.
But does it vote, or would this have been more impactful if it had been Anita?
Probably, yeah.
I would have cried a lot more, and I would have hated it if it was Anita.
That's true.
Wow. You have Joy killing herself, but you draw a line at Anita.
No, I mean,
Joy
okay,
is
yeah.
more impactful at the very least. Anita would have been so sad, I would have hated it.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to add, secondly, the reason I don't mind this compared to the Chibnall years is because, this is like the only time, this is like one of the only times that the Doctor's been passive, because the Doctor's been so active in stopping the threats of the last season. It's not like how Ethan pointed out when we did the Kuchiri, the Chibnall era retrospective where he caught up, where he was
No, you were right the first time. Kuchiri's to blame for all this.
Kuchiri.
It was Kuchiri all along.
That's throwback.
But the way you pointed out in like series 11, you were like, oh, in this story, Doctor didn't save the day. In this story, they didn't do anything. In this story, they didn't do anything. This one, they did something. And then these next three, they didn't do anything. Stuff like that.
Wasn't the final total after we looked through it all was like 5 of the 30 episodes? This was before the final year specials, but 5 of the 30 episodes had Jodie Whittaker actually do something other than be the anime best friend sitting in the sidelines explaining what the card does that just got played.
The anime best friend?
No, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah. But this Doctor's been much more active, so
I know what he means, but also anime best friend is the best possible description of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor.
Yeah. Having a passive episode where the guest character sacrifices himself to save the day, it's all right because 1, emotional, and 2, Gat was been more active. So
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't call this passive, but go ahead, Kiri.
No, I was going to point out Joy. The reason why we aren't as hurt by Joy doing this is Joy gave us no real reason to like her. Yes, you have a sad backstory, but you were also kind of a bitch for most of this episode.
Harsh.
As I say, I'm a hollow character, so that's why I think it would have been more impactful than Anita.
She is someone that, yes, she is alone, but she's alone because of how her attitude is.
Yeah.
She's one of those that, she could probably make friends. She could probably have a partner or stuff like that. But because of this cynical view she sees of the world ever since her mom died, she pushes away the people that are actually trying to.
I'm going to get real for a second here, so I apologize.
No, go ahead.
Speaking of someone who did lose their mother to an illness, it wasn't COVID. And one of the saving graces was that I was there for her at the end. I didn't have to say goodbye to her through a screen. I could say goodbye to her in person. So this did really hit me rather emotionally. And I didn't cry this time, but the line about, Mum's there, still saving us after they're gone, that nearly got me. But it didn't this time.
I mean, I was fortunate not to lose anyone during, that whole time.
Yeah, I didn't lose anyone during COVID either, but my God, I'm making it now, aren't I?
Yeah, no, I remember having a conversation with my mom when the lockdown first came to place. My mom's always been one of those that she always expects the worst. So she was already like, "Oh, I'm going to get sick by this, and I'm going to be gone." And like she was already doing the whole "this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do" kind of things.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm sitting here like, "Oh God, what would have happened if I had to say bye to my mom over my phone or something?"
I understand. Yeah. So during the second, sorry, carry on.
No, I was going to say, well, I was going to go with what Kat was also just trying to bring up. Like the doctor was actively trying to do something in the 5 minutes they had left before the bomb blew up, which was him running and getting the rope and going through the thing, having that.
Yeah, he was opening up the thing, the shrine.
Yeah. He was on top of the train. Epic shot of him on top of the train, throwing out the grappling hook. The whole
He's trying
scene.
to do stuff. It's just Joy got there first, essentially.
Yeah. So the thing is, what could he have done other than be the sacrifice himself? So this is again a fucking Moffat thing where River, Clara, a few others sacrifices themselves to save him. Anyway,
Moffat.
Yes, Kat.
So I'm going to talk about something that I don't know if I ever mentioned to you guys before. I kind of was in sort of the same boat that Joy was, but it was with my grandmother. When COVID first started, my grandmother wasn't in the best of health. So I didn't see her for quite some time. We would talk. She didn't know how to use like FaceTime or, cameras or anything like that. So I hadn't seen her for several years. I didn't see her during any of the COVID years. I didn't see her from any of the years after that because we were trying so hard to keep her safe. And then in 2023, COVID was still pretty, bad, but it wasn't as rampant as it was before. But during that time, I moved here to Arizona, which is all the way on the other side when I used to live on the East Coast. And then when I first moved here, just a couple months later, she died. And I never got to see her again. Yeah. I sent her videos and I called her and I never saw her for all that time. I didn't get to see her for like 4 years. So I wasn't there when she died.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see her ever again. But the thing that really ticked me off about Joy was that she took that pain and she took it out on everybody else. Whereas I never did that. And I think that if she had taken that pain and she had seen a therapist, like she was talking about how her mother had named her Joy and she felt compelled to live up to that name. And it's like when we saw her video chatting with her mother and how she tried to keep upbeat, at the end of the video chat, she just sort of hung up on her mother. I know she didn't know that was the last time she was ever going to talk to her, but that abrupt hang up on her, you don't do that to somebody like that.
No, you don't.
If you know that somebody's in the hospital and could die any day, you wait until they want to hang up. Because the anguish on her mother's face while she was talking to her, I don't think her mother ever said a word to her in that scene. At all. And that's what takes me off about Joy, is the fact that she didn't let her mother get a word in. She didn't talk to her properly. And that's why I think that I don't think Joy deserved to die, but I think she deserved to be part of that star so that she could learn to heal, so that she could have people around her. And while I don't agree with you, Kuchiri, that she killed her mother, I think that it was her mother's time to die. And Joy just took her into the star so that they would have more time together. And it's like, I'm glad that she got that time. I'm glad that she got that time with her mother because they both needed that in order to be able to see each other again. And I am glad that they got that. But Joy does not endear me as a character, not only for the homophobic remark at the beginning, but also for how she treated her mother while she was in the hospital, and also for how she put these expectations on herself because of her name. This woman needed therapy. She absolutely needed therapy. And I think that essentially Joy is the old doctor before Shurigawa.
That's a very good take.
I'll say Cat.
That is why I think that Joy is the perfect character to be the person who becomes the star. That's why I think the ending where she does become the star is perfect. And that's why I'm kind of glad that everybody else got to become the star, because they do get to carry on forever as this star in the sky.
Yeah. Also, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's one of those things where when you start to talk about it, it starts to hit you.
Yeah.
God,
yeah.
like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. It's just, I do wish I could have been there. And it's
I hear you.
Later that year, I got to go home and I got to see her ashes. But it's like then later on, like the next year, I got essentially told in a text that they were going to spread her ashes, and they never said, "Hey, do you want to participate in some way? Do you want us to, film it, or do you want to join via, some sort of
that's awful.
FaceTime or, webcam or something?" And I never got to say goodbye to her properly that way.
Oh God.
So there was a lot of hurt.
They didn't bother offering putting some ashes into like a pendant or anything?
No, they just decided one day. My mom literally said to me, there was no special day. It's just everybody was going to be there, so they picked that day. Everybody except for me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So yeah, I'm still a little hurt from that, but
you should be. You should be. That's not right.
But
thank you for telling your story, and
yeah.
For what it's worth, I think I don't want to condescend you, but I think you've been incredibly brave saying that on the show. So thank you for that.
No, it's fine. It's like, it's one of those things where I identify with what you're saying. Like, obviously, it's not my mother, it's my grandmother. So there is that line of disconnect where obviously I'll never be as close to my grandmother as, you are to your mother.
Yeah.
There's a very, very different line there. And I, of course, appreciate what you're saying as well, Rainiac. But I think that my experience does align with this as well. So I think that both of our experiences sort of show both sides of this coin.
Yeah. And then, having not upset enough people with the COVID references, Moffat just says, F it, and let's upset the religious people too.
Possibly.
Because the star is, of course, Bethlehem 0001, and God, he's brave for doing this.
Yeah, especially since he's apparently an atheist.
Yeah, I knew this was going to upset people.
No, I mean,
possibly.
When they find the shrine that the case is inside, there's a random line of, I'm pretty sure you have the power of this briefcase. You create religions.
Yeah, they do kind of signpost it.
It's like, I'm really hoping that they don't mean what we're thinking that they mean. And don't worry, I'm getting better right now that we're not back on it. Because obviously the implication is that this is the star that the three wise men follow to be able to find Jesus. I have a lot of things to say about this, so I want to go ahead and give the floor to anybody who has anything to say about this before I get into it.
The other thing I'll say is they kind of signposted the title with Joy to the World. The carol Joy to the World is Joy to the World of Bethlehem. We kind of should have seen it coming.
Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth receive its king.
Yeah, but Bethlehem is like mentioned straight after Joy to the World. So we should have kind of seen it coming, but we didn't. It caught a lot of people off guard. Does anyone else have anything to say before Kat goes full throttle on this?
I have nothing.
I got nothing. It's just,
the floor is yours, Kat. I shall mute my microphone. Go ahead.
Wow, I just want to say, I was just laying there thinking, oh my God, you actually went for it, Moffat, you madman.
Yeah, he's a very brave man. So I live with someone, Kris. She's been on the show before. She's been in our Common Writer show as well. I stream with her almost every weekend. We've been kind of off for the holidays and everything for a bit. She does identify as a Christian. She doesn't really go to church, but she still identifies as a Christian. She's a very devout Christian. She believes in the Bible. She heavily believes in Jesus. I am not what I would call a devout Christian. I do believe in God and Jesus, but I do not go to church. I believe that the Bible is a series of tales that we do need to look at and see as stories to understand and follow as stories. I'm not entirely sure if they're true or not because I was not there. And I do recognize that the Bible was written by humans who do have agendas, especially with like the King James version. King James was known to be a misogynist and very sexist and everything. So, saying that, there are some things that we do need to acknowledge. There are some parts of the story of Jesus that were not included in the Bible and other things like that. There were 2 Bethlehems, for example. We don't know which one was included. They never said that there were 3 wise men for, part of it. There's also the part where Jesus wasn't included in the Bible until like 50 to 60 years after he had already passed away. And before anybody gets really, up in arms, it has been semi-confirmed that Jesus was a real person. As he was a peasant at the time, there's not obviously going to be that many, documents or anything about him because they didn't think of him as quote unquote important at the time. But there have been both Roman and Jewish documents that say that there was a man known as Jesus and such at that time. So there is recorded evidence that he existed. It's just, unfortunately, again, peasant, he wasn't considered important enough to be, so most of our evidence does come from the Bible. So the fact is that Moffat has taken what is a historical and biblical person and put him into a story from Doctor Who, which is a very sci-fi story, and decided to make like the tale of the star into a very sci-fi thing, which I can see that rubbing against people the wrong way. I personally think that making it the star is probably the least offensive thing that you could do in this case. But something that we're going to do is I'm going to have my friend Kris watch it, and we're going to get her opinion as a devout Christian to see what she thinks of this whole thing, which we'll insert at the end when we do our overview of what we think of this. Yes, Kuchiri.
Yeah, I was actually going to say this isn't the first time in Doctor Who canon that Jesus has been a character.
It actually isn't.
Which is funny because I love when stuff like this happens. You get the reactions, you get the whatever, and then you get the bunch of like Doctor Who fans with, the master's level of college education to Doctor Who lore, posting all the comic strips that has Jesus and the Doctor in it. In
other words, the receipts.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Something funny I just found out though. Like I said, I've said many times, I usually have the TARDIS wiki up. Apparently, in The Voyage of the Damned, the Doctor has said that he actually took the last room at the inn, which meant that Mary and Joseph could not take that room, and they had to go to the manger and everything. So this is not the first time that Jesus has been mentioned, even in sort of like an aside. But yeah, so Jesus has been mentioned before, so the fact that you're kind of annoyed at the fact that Jesus is in this, you don't have a place to stand on.
But it's like anything else people complain about. When they complain about how Doctor Who's now woke, and you point out when the 9th or the 10th Doctor said something.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, this is probably the least offensive way that they could include. Let's be fair. There is the fact that Christmas is not the day that Jesus was born. It is theorized that Jesus was actually born closer to when Easter happened, and they switched around the date because they wanted to convert more people to Christianity. So they took over Saturnalis, which is a pagan holiday. and they just made it into Christmas so that they could convert more people.
Yeah, they took it for the solstice.
There's
So
also
it's not actually the day that Christ was born. So making it into the same day is he got it wrong there.
There's also the fact that when the extra months were added, dates got confused and mistranslated, and the whole fact that now we believe it's closer to Easter is because with our knowledge of how the dates got messed around, it's likely that because of all the mistranslations and the messing around with the dates, that it was actually around Easter, not around Christmas. Anyway, shall we get on to final thoughts? I think we've exhausted this episode.
Yeah, so basically, Moffat's not only an atheist, he's a bad atheist who doesn't do his research. Boom.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
So nobody picked this because it's a live episode. So who would like to go first?
I'll take it. Why not? It's fine. It's like I said. Take it with the time and place. It's Christmas Day. You've had a big dinner and you're going halfway into a food coma. Had a couple drinks, and you're watching the new Doctor Who. Perfectly adequate holiday entertainment. It's got some good emotional beats. It's got some good resonances. Doesn't exactly land all the way as we have discussed, but calling it the worst Christmas special would be implying that it has something to really take like actual umbrage with, and I wouldn't go that far. It's just fine, completely adequate Doctor Who. That's a little bit of a step down for Moffat, who I love, but the parts that I really love about this, the Year of Anita, the blistering anger over COVID, definitely are strong points. But it was a perfectly fine episode of Doctor Who that I enjoyed on Christmas Day.
Kuchiri?
Question. You like watching a Christmas special every year. How soon will you watch this Christmas special again?
Probably, I wouldn't put it high on my list. My usual rewatches are, like I said, better Moffat Christmas specials. I like pretty much anything with Capaldi.
Yeah, and see, that's my segue to the point that's my point in all this.
Okay, well, go ahead.
I enjoyed this episode. However, if I were to sit down and watch another Doctor Who Christmas special, I probably will watch any of the other ones before I watch this one, and I'm including Voyage of the Dam and Widow.
I don't know if I'd go quite that far, but yeah.
No, Joy kind of left me a bad taste in my mouth if it wasn't obvious. I know she's a great actress. I know she's done a bunch of great stuff. However, Moffat really didn't give her any good here. Like, the ending did not feel earned. Like, I'm more upset with the ending, not because of the implications, but the fact that you had this character that did the random assumption about, is this a gay thing, was all mad about rules, and now she's following the rules. Like, wait, thought you were supposed to be breaking the rules if you were mad about the rules. Kind of was just an overall bitch in general. And then when you have a sad backstory that doesn't change your actions for having a sad backstory. We talked about this when we talked about Bowser. Oh yeah, your dad was a piece of shit and destroyed your dog. That doesn't mean you get to kill billions,
Dog.
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 But the fact of the matter is, I feel like Stephanie the Whaley. Is that how you say her name?
Probably DeWally.
Yeah, I would say DeWally.
Because it spelled like whale with an extra L. Okay. I feel like she should have had her name in the opening credits with how big of an impact she had in this episode.
Yeah, I would disagree on that, if only because I like the impact she has as sort of a surprise, but please continue.
But it usually when your names is in the intro credits, it's because you're that episode's companion and you're supposed to have the impact. The fact that I much rather would have watched an extra 10 minutes of Nishuri and Stephanie Diwali act together than I would another 10 minutes of Nishuri and Nicola, which, again, put them in any other show, put them in like a sitcom. I'm sure, with a different writer, the two of them will be beautiful together as going off each other. But in this special by itself, joy did not leave me enough to be joyful about. That's just my opinion. So
I'd like to go third, just so Kat can go last, and then we can link that to Chris's bit, if I may. So, perfectly cromulent Christmas special, genuinely, which falls apart if you think about it for more than 5 minutes. So don't think about it for more than 5 minutes. Just enjoy it for what it is, which is the 2024 Christmas special. I thought the stars of the show were Trev and Anita by far. Trev deserved better. Hashtag justice for Trev. And Anita, I would not mind seeing again. I mean, what if we do this crazy thing where some person, I don't know who it is, I'm sorry, on either Blue Sky or the Bird site, kind of linked this era to the first RTD era. So Ruby was like Rose. And Belinda Chandra, who's the new companion, is a bit like Martha. So then maybe she leaves, and then we get Anita, who is like Donna, and etc., etc. I don't know if that's true. I kind of hope it's not true, because it's just like kind of, retracing the past.
Remember 2005 when the show was good?
I wouldn't mind Anita coming back, though.
Please do not enslave the nurse's family again with a white master.
Oh God, she totally is the master, isn't she, Mrs. Flood, by the way? If we're doing the greatest RTD hits, she totally is.
No. She's the War Games character. That's what it is.
She's the War Games character?
The one who apparently regenerated but wasn't the master.
Close enough. Welcome back to the War Chief. Yeah, all right.
I didn't watch the War Games.
She actually might be the once, and I kind of want her to be, just so we can kill that joke.
But here's the thing. When it was finally Lupus and House, it still didn't kill the joke.
When it was finally
Lupus and House.
Wait, you guys never want. So it's the thing in House where every episode the.
No, I know what he means. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah, but then they finally had Lupus, which. Oh, so when I worked at the hotel while I was watching on House too, and I followed this website of a doctor giving an actual review of if the science was good. The fact of the matter is, the guy was like, "Oh yeah, no. So this is the famous Lupus episode." Turns out it wasn't even Lupus. If you go by the actual science, so they even got it wrong.
Yes, the joke is this: that in most episodes of House, either House or another doctor would say that they thought that the thing the person was suffering from was lupus, and it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day it actually was lupus, but it still wasn't because they got the research wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway. But as I say, perfectly decent Christmas special. Will I go back and watch it again? Not unless I'm doing like a marathon of modern day Christmas specials. It's fine for what it is. It's not terrible. It's not amazing. It's there. It's not Moffat's best Christmas special. It's also not his worst because, Widow exists. Yeah, Widow still exists. And look, people like Widow, I'm not harshing on you. Something has to come last, right?
Yeah. It's Widow. Widow comes last.
It can't be Husbands of River Song. It can't be Last Christmas. I don't think it can even be Return of Dr. Mysterio. I like that one. That's fun. It's daft, it's stupid, but it's fun. A superhero Doctor Who, but it actually makes sense. It's kind of fun. Yeah, that's what I thought about it. Kat, go ahead.
I agree. It's mediocre at best. Obviously it has those moments that take it down, the homophobic joke, the fact that Joy isn't really that great of a character or person in general. I'm going to disagree with you, Kuchiri. I think she does deserve that ending. if only because I think that she desperately needs that that therapy that having her mom and all those other people will give her. Because she really does need that. She needs to have a little bit of hope in her life to be able to move on from her pain and suffering. Because otherwise, she's just going to continue to stagnate in that for the rest of her life. Um, and that's never healthy for anybody, especially not her. Um, I agree that I'm probably not going to rewatch this one. Not even for the personal reason that I feel, but just for the fact that it's mediocre. Like, if I would rewatch it again, it would definitely be for the Anita bits, and that's pretty much it. It doesn't really stay true to the Doctor character as he is now because, he once again is like, the whole chair thing where he doesn't have any chairs and he's being lonely again. He doesn't see Ruby, even though he's supposed to be a brand new person. Um, Joy isn't that interesting. The Villain Guard thing, like the Starseed, isn't really that interesting as a plot point. Um, Potentially offensive depending on who you talk to with the whole Star of Bethlehem thing. It's an okay episode, but meh at best. Meh, meh, yeah, meh. But again, still not the worst because widows exist.
And now Kris is going to tell us how we're all wrong. This is the best episode ever.
She will definitely not say that.
Well, Kris, go ahead.
Okay, so Rain, for you, we're going to do this a little differently. Kris has asked me to basically interview her, so I'm going to be asking her some questions, and then she's going to go based off that.
Yeah. Because I didn't just want to ramble, because, I don't know.
That's basically what we do all the time, so...
Okay. But yeah, hello everybody, I am Hawk McBlade, or Kris.
Or as I sometimes call her, Crisp.
I mean Crisp too. Crisp is fine.
Yes, but if you call her that, she will appear in your dreams and she will destroy you.
I'm like Freddy Krueger.
But much scarier, trust me. Right, so...
But yeah.
Yeah. Joy to the world. We're gonna start off by saying you do identify as a Christian. You know the Bible pretty much back to front. I would say that you're pretty much almost an expert on it.
I wouldn't say expert, but I'm a lot well versed in most Christians, the way things are.
I'm gonna call you an expert anyways, because I can. So, yeah.
All right, well, let's begin.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with, so when Joy and the Doctor finally find the briefcase, we're gonna start off with they've just lost it to the dinosaur. Trev has come out and he said that it's in a specific room. They find the room and they come upon it in a shrine. Can you give us your feelings on the shrine and what you think about it? And specifically where it is located. In this case, just outside of Bethlehem.
Yeah. The shrine itself, the fact that nobody had found it by then and messed with it is pretty interesting. With it being outside of Bethlehem, and one thing that I can think of is like the little statuette above the thing and the ram's heads. To me, that kind of looked more like an owl, which would indicate Molech worship. And considering the Bible says that the Jews took over the Ammonite, Moabite, Hittite lands, that makes more sense because that's far older than Judaism. Well, essentially, than the implied inspiration of Christianity for the star thing or whatever.
Right.
Basically, that seems more like demon worship than it does than actual Judaism.
Essentially, false idols.
Yeah, but because I cannot get a full, clear look at what it actually was, I can't really say one way or the other.
Right.
for all I know, it could just be like somebody took two things and they stuck them together and spray painted it.
I mean, that's probably
Who knows?
exactly what the prop people did, was took a bunch of shit and put it together and was like, this is good enough. Stick it up there.
Yeah,
What
that
else
makes
can we
more
put
sense.
up there? We've got these ram skulls. Sure, do it.
Yeah, like they didn't really keep the skulls. They burned everything in
Yeah.
Judaism. The bones, everything. They scattered the ashes outside of the camp. They didn't keep those things around. So I don't know what they're trying to imply.
Yeah, so this is just basically Kuchiri during the podcast was saying that the doctor had mentioned that entire religions could have been started from this briefcase because of the hypnotic suggestions that it has. I was kind of refuting the idea because Judaism and essentially Christianity had, started long before this briefcase. I didn't think that it had started the religion, so just saying.
Yeah, the briefcase being there probably wouldn't have had any sort of bearing on it. I need to look at some maps and see where, like,
Yeah.
was it Mount Ararat?
No idea.
Basically, the burning bush symbolism. I don't think the briefcase is going to have a burning bush unless, like, holograms projected out of the mountain. Didn't seem like it was that powerful.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they were trying to imply. And honestly, from the way it looked, since they had that big stone door there, it almost felt like somebody had dropped it just inside the shrine out because they couldn't move the door, and then they had left and or had died there essentially, rather than it being put inside the shrine and it was just waiting there for somebody to pick it up again.
That's another thing I want to talk about. Were there, like, lights inside of the shrine?
Yeah, that was the weird part. It was very Indiana Jones where they walk in and like the torches are still lit type of thing.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
To be fair, we don't know because with the Time Hotel, there is a door that has to be there, and then you go through the door, and there's things. So we don't know where the actual original door leads to, other than the fact that it would have been a locked door. So all I can assume is that there's a locked door that leads someplace else, presumably, but apparently all the locked doors don't actually lead anywhere. I don't know. It's a plot hole.
Yeah, to me, it just felt like it was just sort of put there because the thing knew that they would come back eventually.
Maybe. Who knows?
Which is entirely possible because, like, the doctor was talking to the gentleman inside of the star seed. So
Trev, yeah.
it's entirely possible that they directed them to put it there so that they could be right there outside the door.
Yeah, at this point, who
Pick up,
even knows
essentially.
anymore?
But yeah, didn't feel like it was indicating anything. The statue was a little weird. It looked like an owl to me, so I'm gonna say Molech.
All right. So we're just going to say it's probably indicative of nothing other than maybe an old religion that has no bearing on anything to do with this. And also, it might have been entirely an accident that it was there.
Yeah. It's just somebody threw some props together.
Yeah.
For the fun of it.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? So, let's go ahead and move on to the real meat of the matter. Joy and the others have become part of the star. They zoom off into the sky, presumably going faster than the speed of light or whatever, to be able to become the star that guides the three magi who were never mentioned in the Bible. It's just mentioning the three separate gifts, to lead them to Bethlehem, even though they were already outside of it, to meet Jesus, who had already been born at that point.
Well, I mean, like, it did mention wise men. It never really specified how many, but
could have been 2. Could have been 5.
There would have been a lot more of them because they probably brought along their retainers and things.
This is true.
So, because, like, it was a caravan. And King Herod had a whole thing where he pulled them aside and was like, "Hey, so when you find that kid, let me know."
Plus, maybe, it didn't say the amount of each gift that they had, right?
I mean, I think it did have the amounts. It's been a while since I've read through that specific portion.
Right. Although it would be a little bit funny just to have, hey, kid, here's some myrrh, and they dump like an entire ton of it on them.
Well, frankincense and myrrh were pretty important.
Yeah.
For perfuming, and they were very expensive things. So
I know, so they would have been rich.
they were they were used for a variety of things, including burial herbs, I think.
Well, then bury them in burial herbs.
Basically, so that the corpse wouldn't stink so bad while people were giving their goodbyes or whatever.
Right. But yeah, what is your opinion on these people becoming this star that guided the wise men about 5 feet?
I mean, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. We're all stardust, bitch.
I mean, that's true. We are stardust, essentially.
I don't... it's kind of... I don't... It feels icky a little bit. Because, like... it feels like they're trying to send a weird message. Is like, involvement with the creation of this very important person. And, like, I know that's a thing that they do in Doctor Who. It just feels a little bit...
weird.
Mary Sue-ish.
Oh,
Can
honey,
we call
you
it Star of Mary
know.
Sue?
You don't know how Mary Sue the Doctor can be.
Oh, God.
You didn't even see the whole of Chibnall. But I told you about the Rosa Parks thing.
Yeah. I don't think it's really that offensive. It's not really going to be like that big a deal to me. But I can see how a lot of people would take offense to that. Because it feels gross, man. It feels kind of like they're trying to upstage God. And I am under the understanding that Mr. Moffat is in fact an atheist, and that's his choice. But like the sheer amount of people that get upset over like complete and utter fiction is ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. We had this over fucking Harry Potter how many years ago? It's time to grow up.
I mean, now we have a completely different reason to get upset over Harry Potter, but it's not even Harry Potter, it's the creator.
Yeah. I knew them wizards were worshipping the devil.
And even then, I'm not upset over Harry Potter. I mean, I'm upset at Harry Potter because it was not the best written thing in the world.
No, it's not the best written. It's how it made us feel growing up.
It was my childhood. But anyways, we're not talking about that.
Yeah, that's a completely separate issue altogether.
Yeah. But also, fuck J.K. Rowling. Anyways.
I think it was a weird kind of way to kind of shoehorn Christmas in. It didn't feel respectful, but it didn't feel disrespectful, if that makes any sense. It just felt like, and here's how it all ties together. Bam! Christmas.
Yeah. And, like, I've already said this in the podcast, but I'm going to reiterate this. Jesus wasn't born on Christmas, so it still doesn't make sense within the confines of the show, because the idea was that they were holding a special where they went to every single Christmas in all of history. That wasn't Christmas. I'm sorry, but it wasn't.
No, it's more... Okay, so there's evidence that he was born actually in April under the sign of Aries, which the star was supposedly a part of. Aries is important because the ram indicates a king, whatever, I don't know. Astrology. But I think just the fact that they mentioned that there were shepherds outside sleeping with the sheep is enough indication to me that they were not in the dead of winter. This was like in a nice summery situation. They were out there enjoying life, just, watching over their sheep, doing the things, being the stuff. And
then some
you wouldn't do that
assholes came in with their whole entourage and said, "Hey, the king was born here."
Be not afraid. It's like, don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna scream. No, that would have been quite a fucking trip, because like that's another thing. If it had been during Christ's birth, there would have been angels all over that fucking sky. A lot of people forget that. They came to celebrate. They probably terrorized the locals.
I forget, the Magi did actually come, just a little bit after he was born, right?
Yeah, it could have been anywhere from his birth to a couple months after.
Okay, so it wasn't
remember, they were,
on his birth, essentially.
Yeah. Remember, they were there in the first place because of Herod's census. They had to go back to their place of birth and get registered. And because of Joseph being the head of the household, they went back to his place of birth.
Which was Bethlehem. One of the two Bethlehems.
Yeah.
There was two of them, by the way.
Yeah. It was quite a thing, because, like, the whole thing after that with Herod basically sending out an execution, killing everybody from the age of newborn to 2 years old. It could have been anybody in that time frame. So, it's not exactly, it's not an exact science. They could have been any time, but like they chose to depict it like typical basic nativity nonsense, which with the 3 camels,
right,
the starry things, and who knows what else is going on. And that's fine.
Which, yeah, apparently that's not even how it would have been. They wouldn't have been in, a proper wooden structure. Apparently they would have been in a cave, which is how they kept their animals at that time.
Yeah, it was easier to keep them in a cave where nothing would attack them except from, the front. And usually what would happen is the shepherd would lay down in the front of the cave to, keep them from going out, or keep people from coming in and keep the sheep from coming out.
Yeah.
Like, I think there was even what was it, the Odyssey, where they had the Cyclops lay down in the front of the cave where he was keeping his sheep.
Yeah. Plus, apparently
So it would have been more
a
like that.
relative's house rather than an actual inn. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course.
I don't think so.
I have no idea.
Like, who does that to their people,
Well, if they don't have any room, obviously that's the best that they could do.
Make arrangements outside, and it'll be okay. We'll figure things out in the morning.
Although, to be fair, if my cousin came by and had his pregnant wife, I would kick the people out of the guest room and say, no, you can sleep here. They'll go sleep outside.
Yeah, I don't think that it was any relatives, unless they were really shitty relatives. Let's be honest.
This is true.
So there is that. Any other questions?
Well, what did you think of the special in its entirety?
I liked it. It feels a little bit weird, a little hanky, but you know what? It's forgivable.
Okay.
And it's a lot better than some other depictions in a variety of other medias. And again, disclaimer, I'm not an expert. I know more than Kat. Yes. That's about it.
She knows a lot more than I do, as you can tell.
I might even have a few things backwards, and it's been a bit since I've sat down and studied the scripture specifically for this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like we were kind of joking that this would be one of your favorite episodes. Would you, out of all the Doctor Who's that you've seen, would you call it one of your favorite episodes of Doctor Who?
It's gonna come a close second.
What was
I
the
still
first?
think about. Okay, so I still think about the fucking lawyer fairies.
The lawyer fairies?
Lawyer fairies.
Which ones were the lawyer fairies again?
Let's see. What were they called? We had a whole thing. It was the Megara.
Oh, from Stones of Blood, I think it was?
Yeah, was it Stones of Blood?
I think so.
I guess that makes sense.
With Tom Baker with the gigantic scarf.
Yeah, they broke into a prison.
Yeah,
Was that Stones of Blood?
That was Stones of Blood. Hang on, I'll get you an image. Is it when
All
he
right.
had the weird hat on?
Yeah, he just like produced a fucking powdered wig.
That one.
Let me look. Hang on. Ah, yes.
Okay, yeah, it was Stones of Blood.
All right.
I'm glad at the very least you picked a fourth Doctor story. And not Chibnall. Because Chibnall was the other ones that I've shown you. And
I
if
mean,
you
yes.
picked Chibnall, I was going to cry.
I mean, I have taste.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having taste.
And I promise it's not because I guest starred on that episode, by the way. If anybody's interested in hearing more of my opinions, please don't.
It's mostly just because it's the one that stuck to her mind the most.
I mean, he pulled a powdered wig out of nowhere, shoved it on his head.
He keeps a lot of stuff in his coat. In fact, that's what I picked for our next episode is another fourth Doctor story called The Pirate Planet.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was promised that apparently it's good.
Well, I'll have to look forward to watching that with you possibly.
Ooh.
But oh my goodness. As far as the episode goes, I was actually kind of touched. And I get the feeling that the Doctor doesn't sit still.
No.
And this was a big strain for him to be just sitting still and waiting for the answer to come to him.
Remind me to show you this one episode where the 11th Doctor had to sit still and wait for something to happen. I'll show you just a clip of it, but it's like this really funny section. I'll do that after we stop the recording, obviously.
The Doctor has ADHD. Clearly.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I felt like it was a good character building episode for the Doctor. I don't know as much about Doctor Who as you do, obviously, but it felt cozy up until the point where they tried to shoehorn in Christianity.
And to be fair, I don't think an atheist who really did not do any research, in my opinion, could do that properly.
I mean, know your enemy? Question mark, Moffat?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, at least do some research.
I don't know. It's okay. I liked it. I liked the solutions to things. I loved the whole thing with the Doctor and the hotel lady. Anita, yes. I knew it was an A name, I just didn't know which A name.
Yeah, she's Anita. She's fantastic.
Yeah. That was sad. Like, you spend an entire year with somebody and get to know them and become their friend, and then they just leave. And you never see them again. And sometimes life is like that. But I don't know. It felt kind of sad and cold there.
Bittersweet.
It's like, damn, you better start sending her a Christmas card, sir.
I know, right? Well, technically, he sent her a New Year's card, so, when he got her the job.
That's true. And it's an exciting job. I'm sure she'll love it.
Oh, yeah. I just hope he comes to visit her. Unlike some of his other companions who he almost never visits or calls or anything. I mean, good grief, man, you're supposed to have had therapy, but anyways. So, Kris, I have to ask you, just for everybody at home, did I tell you anything about what the guys and I thought of this episode before we started recording?
Other than the Kuchiri, not entirely.
You had the exact same thoughts that we had. It was an okay episode. We loved the Anita bits. That's the exact same.
Jeez.
Yeah, you had the exact same thoughts.
I mean, how can you not love those bits? It's a good character building episode about, somebody that's not used to sitting still, learning a little bit more about himself and learning to be at peace with his surroundings. It's very touching.
Absolutely hit it on the head. And it's like, that's one of the things that I think Moffat does well is he does really hit the Doctor on the head a lot. It's like there are some parts of his characterization I didn't like, namely that whole berating himself just before he started the year with Anita, but otherwise he did it really well.
Yeah, like that felt a little weird and a little hard.
Yes.
It's like, do we need to have a talk with somebody?
Yeah, because I mean, the whole point of having Tennant come back and then Ncuti Gatwa coming from him was for him to have had quote-unquote therapy and to have put the past behind him and everything. So I've already said this in the podcast. Just re-listen to the podcast if you want to hear my opinion on it. This is supposed to be about you.
All right.
But yeah, I'm glad that you liked it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, anything else you want to add on before we stop the recording?
Yeah, if you were offended by this, fucking get a life.
Touch grass.
Get some help. I don't see what could possibly be offensive about this. It's just, like, there's worse things in media today.
Mm-hmm.
And, honestly, like, it was tasteful. It's not my cup of tea. It feels a little ick, but it's not, like, gonna destroy my life or anything.
And we've watched Has Been a Hotel, and that does way worse.
Watched and liked.
Yes. Also, hell of a boss. We can need
Yeah. We do. All right, everybody, have a good rest of your day.
Happy New Year.
Eat your teeth.
Drink water.
Bye.
Join us on sometimes Saturdays and Sundays for our streams.
Yeah. All right, take care. Bye.
Bye. Well, thank you, Kris, for that. That was very insightful. I don't know what you saw yet because this is going to be inserted after the fact, but thank you, Kris.
Post-production.
What, you people don't have TARDISes to go into the future and see what she said and react to it before what she said?
No, nor do I have a kitchen 30 minutes in the future. We didn't touch on that. That's kind of funny.
Well, there are so many funny bits in this. Like, it's so microwave. We're miracle workers. The honeymoon suite.
Oh god, the honeymoon suite.
Honestly, if you're gonna watch this episode, just watch it for the Anita bits, because that's seriously the best part of this entire episode.
Bits, except when Trev dies.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but still, the Anita bits are the best part of this episode because it's funny, it's emotional, it's great.
But we're back to the point where Joy is such a bad character. We are saying watch this episode for these three other characters, not the person whose name is in the credits.
That's a very fair point.
His name is in the title, yeah.
Thankfully, this is now in the books. And we can look ahead to season 2.
The new Doctor Who season 2. What the fuck?
That trailer was very short, but my god, what are the scenes in it? I cannot wait.
The cartoon character coming out of the
cartoon character, yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Whatever the fuck that is.
It's Cuphead X Doctor Who is what it is. I cannot wait for that. Also, I think the Daleks are definitely back because I think we saw Dalek sources attacking people.
Well, of course they're going to be back. They have to keep up that whole,
They weren't in season 1. They weren't in season 1 at all.
No, but they still used it for a Red Nose Day special. So I think
clever. Loopholes, I love it.
Gotta have them loopholes.
But yeah, we have a new season. We had a couple of clips shown, which I'm not going to talk about because that characters would be spoiled. But we have a new companion.
Honestly, I didn't get a next time trailer.
There was no next time trailer. It was just like next season on Doctor Who, and it's like clips of like 20 seconds.
Yeah, I didn't even get that. I watched mine online completely legally.
Yeah.
You got it better than you did before. BBC America.
Yeah, true. Most of it, you could predict. Like Mrs. Flood was shown again, and the Daleks were teased with the saucers. And then the bit that you couldn't predict, which was Cuphead X Doctor Who.
Maybe it'll turn out that Mrs. Flood is actually being infected by a Dalek, and she'll have the Dalek eye stalk coming out of her forehead.
Mrs. Flood is Hildeberg.
Mrs. Flood is Davros.
I mean, that's a twist.
That would be a
Speaking
twist.
of next time hype, what's next?
I mean, if the Master can become a woman, maybe
I
Davros
hadn't
can
finished
too.
season 2. You know what, Kat? What's next?
Well, I thought that, new year, new me. Since I believe the next time that we're going to be back doing Doctor Who will be the new year. I decided that we should do something that I looked very briefly online. I did not spoil myself for anything. This is supposedly good, but some of the side characters apparently aren't that great, according to some critics. So we're going back in time again. We're going to go to the 4th Doctor.
Ooh.
If there's anything bad in here, I do apologize. Like I said, I didn't spoil myself for anything. We're going to move on to something called the Pirate Planet.
Oh!
Boy!
You picked a good one.
Okay, thank God.
You picked a good one, didn't you?
The sense that I recall it being fine, but do you know, Kat? Do you know who wrote The Pirate Planet?
No, I didn't look up anything except to see some critic reviews as to if this was good.
Do you want me to say it now, or do you want to find out when you do the thing?
Oh, would this happen to be Pip?
No.
Okay. Who wrote it?
It's just some obscure little Doctor Who television writer who's done a story or two here or there. Some guy you'd never heard of. His name, so just Douglas Adams.
Okay, I'm fucking in. I'm so glad I picked this one now.
All in, chips all on the table right now. 2 pair.
Two-pair.
New year, new me. We're gonna do something good for once. Holy shit, I picked really good.
Well, I mean, it's probably like okay. I don't know.
2 pair. You have a gambling problem. Please continue.
Okay,
I really
that sounds
did
fun.
gamble for this. Holy crap.
Do you know who else has a gambling problem now, Mike? Because I bought him Blanche over Christmas. And that was literally the message on Steam was like, "You have a gambling problem." Merry Christmas, Mike.
What is just a small gambling problem? It's not that bad. It's fine. It's fine.
He'll be
It's a
seeing
small
2 pair in his sleep. It's not fine.
Gamble responsibly, people. I don't think they heard you. Gamble responsibly, people. By the way, bacon.
Oh wow!
I'm being fed bacon.
Mm.
Well, once just
What do you mean we're
where can
married
you
now?
find us?
Well,
Just gals being pals.
I brought you the
just gals being pals.
bacon.
What?
Just shoving meat in each other's mouths, salty meat.
I think
What?
shoving meat into each other's mouths is the least lesbian thing you can do.
What the fuck, Kuchiri? Okay, well, since he asked so nicely, except he didn't ask nicely at all, but I'll still pretend that he did. You can find us on both the Bird site and Blue Sky. I have a Blue Sky.
No, you gotta tell the story here.
I've had a Blue Sky since 2023 and didn't realize it.
You had it the entire fucking time.
Yeah,
More
I made it. I didn't fill any of the details because I thought that the Bird site might be going down permanently.
Apparently, the second piece of bacon canceled out our marriage, so I'm no longer married. So, Rain, we can still get that visa.
Okay. Hey, if you come in June, I can get you a ticket to Santana and Manchester because we bought that this week. Humble brag.
Do you have some books to promote?
Yeah, I was trying to promote the Blue Sky, but yeah, I've had this account running on the plane at bsky.social. I've had this account since 2023, but of course, a lot was going on in those times, so that's why I forgot.
Mhm.
The funniest thing is that Kuchiri knows I have an account because he linked to it on his Kamen Rider reviews. And didn't tell me, hey, you already have an account.
Well, that'd be too easy.
Instead, he bugged me about getting a new Blue Sky account.
Again, I wasn't the one bugging you the most bit. Just saying.
That's true. Mike?
I think you mean Fred's.
No, it was actually Mike.
Oh, was it Mike?
No, generally it was Mike.
Michael?
Also,
Michael-
you gotta forgive me. I did all that stuff months ago, so...
Michael Hoovian, go to your room.
Michael Hoovian, no Oz for a week.
Harsh.
Wow.
Mike, don't make me infinity and then drag you to this podcast.
Anyway, you can also find us on twitch.tv/Rainiac/Cognitive/Music Inferno and / the Kuchiri.
No, you can't. Not on Twitter.
No,
Twitch.
You said Twitter.
I said Twitch.
Am I the only one who can hear in this whole...
I said Twitch.tv quite clearly.
And I'm the deaf one.
What?
Not legitimately, but I have the worst hearing ever. You can ask Kris.
2:30.
What?
I'm surprised you haven't got the worst hearing ever. It's 2:30.
What? I wasn't listening.
Oh, very good. Books. By Back to the Empire by Lena Fenrir Mattia, volumes 1, 2, and soon to be 3. By the Territories by Sean Dillon, our friend, and by Shadow of the Gallifreyan Volume 1 by Lena and Sean and a whole bunch of other people, and also Frisky Inferno. I can now read it. It rules.
Oh,
excellent.
Have you been reading it?
I've started to read it. I've been quite busy over the past few days, but I have started to read it, yes.
Are you
You just skip ahead specifically to Frez's entry and then just
I've read the first 5 or 6 entries.
Oh.
I'm near the back of the book.
Yeah, Frez is in the far future.
What you should do is you should get a time machine, go to the far future, read Frez's entry, and then go back to the rest.
Well, funnily enough, it starts like biblical times, and then goes on from there.
I should point out, Rain said we need to end this by 45 minutes ago, and we're stuck.
We were going with the flow. Who needs to watch skiing on TV? It's fine.
It's just skiing.
Although I actually, I hope Dad isn't listening because there's good spoilers right now. But apparently, I should have seen it because it was like a first-time winner that no one ever saw coming. Oops! Oops!
Just
anyway,
after this, someone will have spoiled it and put up a clip or something.
I don't think Blue Sky's concerned about alpine skiing somehow.
You never know. Somebody will be.
A lot of official accounts still use the bird site for convenience. Which I can kind of understand. Blue Sky's also kind of not like a mainstream thing yet. It might become one, but not yet.
Yeah.
It is, I think, a good site, and they just added trending topics, which does help to make it more like the old bird site, but it's still got a ways to go. Could someone please tell me to say something?
Oh, look at that. Literally just found it about alpine skiing on Blue Sky. So,
okay, I'll check that out after someone has told me to say something.
Oh, hey, there's a whole bunch of alpine skiing on Threads too.
Don't all jump in at once, guys.
Say goodnight, Rainiac.
Thank you. Good night, Rainiac. And join us. It's time for what was it? Oh yeah, Cat's Pick. Tom Baker in The Pirate Planet by Douglas Adams.
Incidentally, the day we record this is December 28th, and it has been 50 years to the day since the Fourth Doctor debuted in Robot.
There you go. Good pick, Cat.
Yay, I didn't even know that.
No, you didn't even know it, but you did it.
Anyway, see you nerds next year.
Yeah, happy New Year. Hope you had a great Christmas. Hope you got everything you wanted, and Happy New Year. And we'll see you in that New Year for The Pirate Planet. Until then, bye for now.
Hey,
I have to wait a
Kat,
whole year
hey,
to see you
Kat,
guys again.
hey,
What up?
Kat. All those times he said New Year's was a coded message. Good night.
Yes, if you guys listen to this whole podcast back, backwards, you will win a new car. It's a Toyota.